A lovely good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's another brand new day and, of course, another brand new week. It's a Monday, and a warm welcome to the Sunrise Breakfast Show right here on PTV2. Of course, the home of breaking news. I do hope that you're using it up for Monday and kicking off the Monday blues. And do not forget that you are catching us live. That is on Topstar channel 110, and of course, Azam TV decoder, that's channel 493, and on our social media platforms, and of course that is Facebook and YouTube. You're definitely welcome. In case you're watching us for the very first time, definitely we've got you covered in terms of what is happening, your news updates, health, and what's going on, especially some trending stories on social media. So we'll be updating you on that and so much more. My name is Rodam Lenga, and of course, as usual, I'm not alone in the studio. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Rita. You look so bright on a Monday morning.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
It was amazing. If you ask what amazing is, I don't want to say because, but I had a great weekend. I rested, so I'm well ready for the week.
Absolutely. And of course, obviously, there was a lot of things that happened over the weekend that we'll be getting to highlight on this particular day. So if you want to be part and parcel of this program, you can definitely leave your comments and your contributions in our comment section that is on our live feed on Facebook. And first and foremost, a very, very happy Father's Day to all the incredible fathers. We are talking about the single dads and other figures across Zambia are also raising the generation with as well. So yesterday, we definitely have to continue reflecting on the impact of positive fatherhood, of course, which is about leadership, protection, and being a steady anchor for our children. And so, if you are a dad, please tell us how this yesterday resonated with you, what you were up to. Were you honored? Did you receive any gifts? Because fathers are always complaining. Men are always complaining to say Father's Day is not really they need more. They need to see more.
Yeah,
they need to be appreciated a little bit more.
Exactly. And they've complained about too many socks already and all the things
and
that women,
handkerchiefs.
That women love to give, and so they wish for more. But I think mostly the men appreciate the gifts, but they also want to hear, their families, their women say thank you, because they sacrifice so much to keep the family together, especially those that really work hard to make sure that the families are catered for. So what they truly want, in addition to all the gifts that we give them, is respect and a thank you. Just say we see you, we acknowledge all that you do for us, and we're grateful.
Absolutely. And you can still keep sending those messages to the amazing fathers out there, and just get to appreciate them throughout the entire week, because there's so much that we can say, but obviously you have your dads, and you know exactly what they have been doing in your life. They've been there for you, and so you can send those personal messages to them as we continue with the week. But obviously we also acknowledge that there are fathers that left before we got to spend time with them, and we do appreciate them as well.
Yeah, true. And we also have today on the show Mara Moyo and her dad, who had an interesting conversation. So for that intimate, beautiful conversation, we will be showing a clip right from Livingston, and I'm sure it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it. So I hope that you will also, want to see what that conversation was all about between daughter and father.
Yeah, they've made quite an impact on social media, and I think that there's a lot of questions that people have.
Yeah.
That obviously we didn't really get the chance to speak to them directly, but Michael Himosa Jr. did, bring us some footage, so we can obviously get to see and get an update on what the situation is like. And obviously, later on the show, we'll be joined by Catherine Jerry from the Women's Legal Aid Clinic, and just to talk about the issues of GBV. I think recently we did have a case that we reported on here at PTV2. And in case you have any questions, any comments, definitely you can leave them on our socials. I think this is really a very important topic that we need to still talk about. This goes on every day.
Yeah.
The numbers are increasing. What is the root cause? What is the Women's Legal Aid Clinic doing about it? How can they help? And just giving us more information in that aspect.
Definitely. You know, there's a report that's come out by the Zambia Police Service that have, you know, said that over 10,000 cases of gender-based violence were recorded countrywide during the last first quarter of 2026 alone. So, you know, this is just like in 3 months.
Yeah.
So these are really shocking and alarming percentages or numbers. And for us, this is just not about numbers, because it seems like it's a national emergency, you know, that touches our homes, our churches, and our workplaces. So we hope that with Catherine, we can have a good chat and ask her some questions that are relevant to this topic.
Yeah. And also, you know, just looking at the current state of leadership in Zambia, and, you know, especially that we're headed towards the elections. We'll be having John Miambo, who is, of course, a student of political science, and he will be letting us know on, you know, just the bigger picture on leadership in Zambia, and so on and so forth. So definitely be having a very, very interesting Monday and some great conversations to come. But of course, you know, as we kickstart, we do have quite a number of things that we'll be discussing later on. So do stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this break.
We are ready to give people in-depth analysis in terms of the elections.
Hello, as marketing department, we are ready for 2026 general elections.
As the programming team, we are ready for the 2026 general elections.
And in this coming election, as a newsroom, we promise to be objective, to be impartial, and to give you information with unbiased coverage. So follow Prime TV during this election period.
The transport and logistics is ready.
We, the reporters from across the country, are ready to deliver authentic, verified, and balanced election stories as they happen.
The 2026 general elections are here. We are ready. We are ready to give people in-depth analysis in terms of the elections.
Hello, as marketing department, we are ready for 2026 general elections.
As the programming team, we are ready for the 2026 general elections.
And in this coming election, as a newsroom, we promise to be objective, to be impartial, and to give information with unbiased coverage. So follow Prime TV during this election period.
The transport and logistics is ready.
We, the reporters from across the country, are ready to deliver authentic, verified, and balanced election stories as they happen.
The 2026 general elections are here. We are ready.
As Zambia counts down to the 13th August general elections, PTV2 Zambia is your trusted source for every major update, every key development, and every decisive move.
Campaigns are underway, promises are being made, and the battle for votes has officially begun.
During this election season, we will break down the 2026 general elections, comparing today's political landscape with 2021 and previous elections.
We'll analyze campaign promises, scrutinize manifestos, and we bring you in-depth coverage in 7 major local languages. Most importantly, we'll give the people the voice.
In 2026, like 1994.
Because this election is all about the Zambian citizen. And when the votes begin to count, we'll be coming live from the Mlungush International Conference Center, delivering verified, accurate and up-to-the-minute results as they happen.
Stay tuned to PTV2, the home of breaking news.
Hello and welcome back. You are on the Sunrise Breakfast Show with us, Catherine and Rhoda. And right now, as we promised, we have Ms. Catherine Jarrett, who is the Senior Legal Officer at the National Legal Clinic for Women. And she's here to talk about gender-based violence. As we told you that the police recently released a report that informed us that about 10,000 women had reported, or I think both women and men, and had reported that they have been abused in one way or the other. So, Catherine, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on Prime TV.
We're so glad you're here because, we also had a report recently, about a week ago, of a woman who came here and she was terribly bitten and she couldn't go to the police. And she came to report the matter because of some issues that we're going to discuss. But before we get into that, just tell us about these reports. Have they always been like this, or it's just increased due to some things happening?
Okay, I think we should actually be happy that we're now hearing the reports. I think there's always been gender-based violence, but you'd agree with me that in the past few years, Zambia police has improved in gathering the information and disseminating it as well. So maybe now we should be happy that it's coming out. People are reporting. It's a sign that people are reporting. And maybe let's look on the positive side of the high numbers. It's a sign that people are now going to the nearest police station and making a report. So if we can say that we are heading somewhere, and at least if we've got the numbers, we'll know how to make the interventions. So I think for me, I feel there's always been gender-based violence, but I think now we just have more information and people are reporting at least now. So at least when we purge out, they say it's like detoxing, to come out, to get ugly, then it will get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the National Legal Clinic for Women, what do you do there?
Okay, all right. So the National Legal Aid Clinic for Women is a project of the Law Association of Zambia, particularly the Women's Rights Committee. So we help vulnerable women and children to seek justice in the courts of law. We also help them to mediate. We also have counselors in all our 3 offices. By the way, we've got 3 offices in Lusaka, in Dola, and in Livingston. And we also advocate for policy and law reform for women and children as well. And we also share information on human rights and also legal rights. That's why I'm even on Prime TV today.
Okay.
Because we want people to be enlightened. We want everyone who can hear in some way about their legal and human rights to know them. Because we know when the community knows about their rights, they'll be able now to make the reports we're talking about. They'll be able to protect those same human rights. So that's what we do. We also go to communities. Anywhere where you want us to be, we'll be happy to share your human and legal rights with you.
Okay. So now when we talk about gender-based violence, a lot of people concentrate on the physical assault. Are there different types of gender-based violence?
Yes, there are actually so many other types. There's the emotional type. Someone doesn't beat you, but there are this word we like, narcissists. All this type of people. Maybe just the comments, even silent treatment. It makes you feel, why is this person quiet? And it makes you feel a certain kind of way. Your self-esteem will be diminished. Some people are just, they've got terrible speech. They'll use verbal abuse. Maybe they use insulting language that makes someone feel they're not good enough, they can't do anything in life. There's all that. Then there's also the sexual violence, where maybe I've got some STD and I'm not communicating to my partner, then they just get sick, or maybe they don't even know, and I'm getting treatment and they're not getting treatment. That's all forms of gender-based violence. There's the economic type. Those men who say don't go to work, or don't go to school, or don't do anything of economic value, or they deny the family, food and other things that they need to survive, and shelter, or they're not maintaining people who by law you're supposed to be maintaining. That's a form of gender-based violence. There's the cultural types, where we just marry off young children, especially in our rural areas. This is very, very common. Forced genital mutilation, all those things, forced marriages, all those which are cast in our culture. You see, because gender-based violence, it roots from you know, the dynamics of whether you're male and female, the dominancy of one sex over the other.
Yeah.
So it's rooted in those cultures that we have, because one sex is considered to be dominant and the other. So these are our cultures, our religious, you know, beliefs that fuel this, you know, the dominance of one sex over the other. So you find because of this power imbalance, now we have all these other types of gender-based violence.
So when you talk about the emotional one, can you report, is this something you can report to the police, for example, that, this one keeps saying these bad words, like maybe it's a marriage. Yeah, they keep saying these bad words to me. Can you do that?
Okay, I'm happy to be on this program because I want people to know that the interventions for gender-based violence are not just the police. There are so many multiple interventions that people can resort to. So if someone doesn't know how to talk, it could even be a woman who belittles a man. You know, that man is made to feel small, like he's nothing. If he wants to take doom because the woman doesn't know how to talk. So you'll find that counselors are there. We have them in our churches. So the response is not just with Zambia Police. You know, all of us have a role to play. Our churches or our religious organizations, our families, the elders. You should learn to bring people together and say, how can we help you? There are even like counselors, professional counselors you can pay if you don't have any of these. Or maybe some of us who feel I can only talk to someone who's got a doctorate in counseling and psychology. You can also go and seek those people, but seek help. So for different interventions, you need different approaches. Say, for example, for emotional violence or for verbal, you can seek a counselor, someone just to sit with you. It could be at family level, it could be at professional level, it could be at church level. If it's an issue of, what can I say, there's what we call protection orders as well. So these are introduced by the Anti-Gender-Based Violence Act. So you'll find that these protection orders are very loaded. It will say maybe if someone likes to show off a firearm or knives, you can restrain them. You can have an order that they confiscate their firearm. You can have an order that they stop stalking you at work where they're embarrassing you and you keep on losing your jobs because your spouse keeps on coming to badmouth you at work or at the gym or wherever you frequent, or at your church, at Maona Chabeso, you see where this person goes and starts embarrassing you. So you can, you know, get a protection order and it's loaded. It stops any type of behavior that you would want. So note, this doesn't involve just the police and locking up someone. There are also other orders, and when that person violates that protection order, which is, by the way, very loaded, they can even be ordered to vacate the house until further notice. Social welfare will come and see that, no, this person is making the house toxic. Occupation order is given. So there are so many orders that speak to specific needs or specific behaviors. So it's not just the police.
Okay, that's great to know. So also, the case I talked about of that woman who came to the media and didn't go to the police, there was fear. She said she was afraid that if they lock up her husband, her children will suffer and things like that. So how do you advise women that come to you with a conflict like that, where they want justice, but again they don't want to be seen a certain way in the family?
Okay, I want to start by validating her concerns. They are very, very valid. It's easy to sit here as a lawyer and say, no, just come, just do this, divorce him, take him to the police. It's very easy when it's not you who is in that reality with these children, these mouths to feed, who the only person who can accept them is this father who's there. He's the only breadwinner. He's the only person there. So, like I said earlier, that's not the only relief that's there. Maybe if this man doesn't know how to live with people, you can get counseling first to tell him that, no, you shouldn't behave like that. If that doesn't work, you can go to the magistrate court. You can engage a lawyer, but even the magistrate court, and get a protection order and an occupation order and a maintenance order as well. So you can have an order where he's compelled to vacate the house, but he will still be making rental payments and he will still be paying the school fees because there's a maintenance order. And by the way, we've only ordered that he leaves the matrimonial home, but we haven't locked him up. He's still able to work and operate. And in that way, and even that time out, maybe absence will make the heart fonder, and maybe the two can maybe go and get counseling and see, just to cool off and then come back later. So there are all these reliefs that can be sought. And then the other thing is also she needs counseling, or any woman of like the type you're mentioning, they do need counseling. They need to get to a place of where they value themselves, get to a place where they are courageous enough to take up the legal proceedings, because you have to be ready. Court is not an easy place. You see, so you have to be ready, you have to be emotionally ready, you shouldn't be compelled, but you have to be brought to that place where you are confident enough and you are able to go through the entire proceedings. You see what I mean? So the counseling part is also important. And also another word I have for people who say I'm staying because of the children, you are teaching your children two things: how to be an abuser for the male child who's saying that dad used to beat mom and she never left, so he will put that one with his wife as well. And then you're also teaching the girl to say, my mother used to be beaten, but she never left. That's how men are. Even my dad, that's how he is. So people should also think of the effect it has on the children, the negative effect. Children can tell that mom is in distress, and maybe they'll be better when she's away from that distress. Maybe they don't want to be in a war zone every single day.
You know, you are hearing some patterns. There's a movie, you know, that's doing the rounds right now, and you know, it's about abuse and
go to holiday at some mother auntie uncle who maybe is peaceful there, or maybe they would stay at school longer, or maybe they'll go and play, because the house is a very heavy, dark, toxic space. You see. So even as people say they are staying for the children, are the children themselves feeling that they want to be there also? You see, or they want, or they enjoy every day seeing you crying or being beaten or being demeaned. Are children happy in that kind of environment? So sometimes it's like we are saying we're there for the children, but we are not also looking at the effects. It's like a smoker, isn't it? Like if you're in a house where one of your parents is a smoker, it's the children who have respiratory conditions and all, because they get more of that. They are more of the collateral damage. They get more of that smoke. You know, they inhale more of it than maybe even the one who's puffing it out there. You see, so we also have to think: is this also a conducive environment? If I tolerate this, would I be okay if my daughter tolerates this, which I'm experiencing from the father? Or as a man, am I happy if my child is also an abuser?
So the ones that go to the police to report, sometimes they say that they face challenges when reporting to the victim support unit. So what are survivors' rights if they feel their cases is not being taken seriously? And sometimes the police will say, okay, just go sort it out at home. This is a family matter.
Okay, the police also at the victim support, and sometimes, yes, like I said, it's not every type of GBV that is supposed, someone should end up in cells and all that. And then again, people have got their own emotional issues sometimes, So, okay, I heavy on emotions. So I think even as service providers, I think this is something we keep learning and keep learning, that the person I'm dealing with here is heavy on emotions, so I should know how to handle them. If what they are going through is not, you know, maybe something which I feel has got merit, but how you handle them, how you explain to them, you know. Sometimes all people need is counseling. Maybe it's the way they're perceiving what's happening. You see what I mean? But if you genuinely feel you have a genuine case and maybe there's corruption involved, maybe this person is paying them off, the police, so they don't take it seriously, these things do happen. Or maybe the people know each other, so maybe they are protecting their own, you know, maybe where you go in the service, there's always the next person. Every office, even every police station, there's an officer in charge. If you feel those at the reception are not doing their job, go to the officer in charge. If you feel that the officer in charge is also not doing his job, go to the police headquarters there and make a report at Central or at headquarters. Make a report there. If all of them are failing at their job, there's a police public complaints right there at Home Affairs premises. You can make a complaint. You can come to organizations like ours and we will hold your hand and we will say, no, we're taking it seriously. You go with a lawyer who will say, no, I demand that the police take this complaint seriously. What's going on here? And at that point, you'll find that something will happen. But the problem is that in Zambia or maybe in the world, people have got this habit of, or a tendency of, it's fine, you know, God will sort it out, it's okay. They don't have that pushing, you know, of Spirit. Knock until they open the door for you. We give up a bit too easily. Or even like at the hospital, I remember meeting this woman who said, I'm tired of the queue, let me just go die from home. Let's not be let's not be like that. Let's keep knocking the door. You see, even when you come to our offices, there are women who know their rights. They'll say, I want to see the director. You see, this lawyer is not helping me. You see, so let's be resilient. Let's keep knocking until one door will open for us.
Okay. So as we wind up, I want to know, so if you know, you talked about safety and maybe some safe houses. So for the victims, so what is the current state of the state-run or NGO-run safe houses for GBV? You know, survivors or those that are going through it in Zambia, and how can victims access it?
Okay. So we do have safe spaces. If you're a vulnerable woman, you can go to the YWCA. They have a lot of safe homes. They've got some safe spaces. And I'm also calling out to cooperating partners. They support these people. It's not easy to manage a safe home because that's feeding, clothing, bathing. Because maybe when someone runs away from home, they run away like it's war. They don't have time to pack, like they are moving. You see? So this person may need from all the basic needs, from clothing to sanitary wear to toiletries to groceries, food, everything. They need this support. So there's the YWC and the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare. But these interventions, and some faith-based ones, I know are there as well. And you can contact all these, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare, even for men who feel they're in distress and women whoever feels they're in distress, let them contact the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare. If it's women, they can also go to the YWCA. And they can also go to the police, and they can even come to organizations like ours where we have referral systems, because we work with these people. They're just in our phone books. We'll say, oh, there's someone who's totally vulnerable. Can we refer them to you? Can we bring them and all that? And we have all these referral channels. But you can start by going to the police. You can start by going to an NGO like ours that helps people. You can start by going to the YWCA. You can go to the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare, and they'll be able to assess your need, and they'll be able to refer you to the appropriate partner. And if you are really confused on where to go, there's a line, a toll-free line, 933. You can call it as long as your phone is charged, and you can call it this line 933, and they'll be able to also give you more referral pathways and where you can go to look for help.
Okay. So, sometimes the conflict with women reporting or men reporting is that they may be in a marriage that is not very official. So maybe like a customary marriage. I know it's official in some way, but people may think, do I still have to report if I'm facing this?
Even a boyfriend reports. Because abuse is abuse. It's not like when you go for a divorce. When you go for a divorce, yes, they'll ask you, did they pay lobola or is there a marriage certificate? But when you're a victim of abuse, we don't care in what way. But it's happened in this relationship, it's happened in this domestic setup, it's happened because you're a man, it's happened because you're a woman. Those are the things that we'll just consider. And at the worst, it's just a crime. Even if it's not GBV, it's still a crime. So still report, and we don't start asking. No, that's why we say don't marry properly. No one will be even criticizing or condemning a survivor. At that point, we'll be looking at helping you to get out of that problem and to protect this person, not per se the validity of the marriage. No, we don't judge on that. The Anti-Gender-Based Violence Act applies to all types of relationships, whether it's marriage, non-marriage, because GBV doesn't just happen in the context of marriage. It could be a father defiling a baby girl in the house. Is there a marriage certificate necessary there? But abuse is going on. So at that point, we don't care. It could be a domestic servant, our living maids who are being abused, by somebody in the house. So all that is GBV. So the marriage certificate is not a factor.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, finally, take us through step by step how maybe a woman today that may be vulnerable and doesn't know how to go about reporting, how can she report either to you or maybe the police?
Okay. So there's a police station and particularly a victim support unit. Is there to approach them? So you can go to any police station, police post in your locality. You can go to the one-stop centers that are there if you have in your locality. But we have them even at UTH, they are there. Even at the public hospitals, they are there. So you can go to those one-stop centers. You can also go to every magistrate court, because every magistrate court is that's where the court of first instance with GBV. And at the magistrate's court, please, it's free of charge. Any GBV service, even at a public hospital, is free of charge. So also go to the public hospitals, because maybe you've been beaten badly, maybe a child has been sexually abused. Let them go to the hospital without delay. And also that the evidence may be preserved. So that's why I'm insisting on the hospital. You can get, maybe if it's sexual violence, you can get PrEP, you can get an emergency contraception, you can get some help. You can get a medical report that will be used as evidence in the courts of law. Sometimes the cases don't go far because you don't come with evidence. You come when you've birthed, you come when you've healed from those scars. You see, people won't believe you. But if you rush to the hospital, and the public hospital, GBV services are free of charge. And then at our offices, you can come at National Legal Aid Clinic for Women. We're in Dola, off Mapanza Road in Dola. and just near the town center there. In Livingston, we're in Moses Street. In Lusaka here, we are along Musondangosa Road in Villa Elizabetha. And we even go to the neighboring towns for all 3 offices. So we're not just limited to Lusaka. Our lawyers are always out of town. We also have out of town work. And then you can go to Legal Aid Board as well, which is in every provincial capital in Zambia. So there's the Legal Aid Board, which is a government department that is also able to help people. And even other lawyers. But here I'm talking only about legal aid, because in case those who can't afford, we don't want them to be, to fail to access justice, because and also talk to our counselors who also help them navigate emotionally and psychologically that which they've undergone. So those are some of the places that they can go.
Okay, so when they come to you, they don't need money?
No.
Okay.
Especially for GBV, even filing is free.
Okay.
Even at the court, you don't pay filing fees.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you go to public hospital, I'm not saying you go to this bougie hospital and say I said it was free. Public hospital, free of charge as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Court filing, free.
Okay.
Even when you come to like a legal aid institution, free. It's GBV.
Okay.
Yes.
Catherine, thank you so much. That was very informative.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the listeners and the viewers have gotten a lot of information.
Yeah. Thank you for having me too. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that was Catherine Jarrett from the National Legal Aid Clinic for Women, and talking about gender-based violence. Always want to know more about a situation that you're facing. If you are in an abusive relationship, or someone just is doing all the things that she said to you that your conscience tells you this is
Her face bears visible injuries after she was allegedly beaten by her husband. This is 28-year-old Anita Nakana of Lusaka's Matero Township, who is now sharing her experience in the hope of raising awareness about toxic relationships that can sometimes have devastating consequences. Miss Nakana, a mother of 2, says she was allegedly beaten by her husband following a marital dispute.
Wanga pamena kambati muzaona mnyukama anakuya banalengesa chafu tatakoma kudo tavala na do na tunsimbitaika tangira na kubedi babo wanifunza question na bwana baya babo akambati iwe first nikumenyo zenza mu bloko boto chani vosiana siana kichibloko boto ananimenya che paka brother wanga neighbor Mike jana boya amenya do atanga ndoni za pwanya osa chitabwanji osa pa sister ngandoni za pwanya Michael ndiana nipokolo lako nje mamina bwana tabira ini kwenda ku gate kupeza ba 100 ba kuma gate balesa ba chimzi ati osa segula gate unopusa ama mamuba bahuza ati mama bantu mwone kasine zone kaso.
When asked whether she had reported the matter to the police, Miss Nakana said she is reluctant to take legal action against her husband, fearing that her children may one day blame her if their father is sent to prison.
Awe sina chaipo na reports ku polisi. Singa mangisema mna wanga at the end of the day bana wa mabochinja. Singa chai na reports ku polisi kozi process ngwana nisogolera. Sameni ngafuni ni chakutishabe ba landlord banga bainde baniuze cause it's like inde baziba momeni kalira mnyumba mwanga cause ni na evidence inatumira abantu bambiri nizo ziba ati vasovi za chitika then mwamuna wanga sininga mumangise even if nakamba vili bonse nezofuna che bantu bazibe nati osa kumbwira vindu vamesuzi sinakwatiliwe kuti nishite proof point ndofuna nizimai bazibe kuti ungachite vili bonse kuli mwamuna osa.
The GBV survivor has since appealed to parents and guardians to stop forcing their daughters into marriage and instead allow them the freedom to make their own life choices.
Pointi ikuru nezofuna maningi kuza wakazi kozi wakazi wakufa osafana silent osa kumbwira vamesuziwa chikwati sinani kani life osa living a life kuti uchite impress muntu ndiye vamenezo kamba kuti osa forcinga mwana msini vamene afuna uchita ifuna kuuza mizimai kuti osa chetekera mchikwati uzafa at the end of the day.
Michael Himusa Jr., Prime TV News in Lusaka.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Quite a very sad development, and there are so many cases of GBV that have, gone unsettled. And this is what Catherine was talking about in the studio, that there is help for those that are victims of GBV. Do not go silent. And if you know anybody that is in that particular situation, a neighbor, a friend, a relative, definitely report to the authorities. They have options and help that they can actually render to you. But obviously, as we go on with our breakfast show, it's very important that we have a look at the current leadership situation in the country. And to help us unpack this, I do have Mr. John Miambo, who is a political scientist, and obviously to just highlight a few things to do with leadership in this country. Good morning, Mr. John. Welcome to our breakfast show today.
Good morning, Madam Rhoda, and thank you very much for the viewers.
Absolutely. Now, let's start with how you look at the current situation of leadership in the country. When you look at Zambia today, how would you describe the current state of leadership, maybe in one sentence?
It's promising. We are on the crossroads. There is potential. Yeah, but at the same time, we have to do a lot. Yeah, especially in the areas of democracy, a lot has to be done.
Yeah. All right. And when we talk about a lot has to be done, what are some of the biggest challenges that we're facing today as a country in terms of leadership?
There's a gap really between the leaders and the citizens themselves. Due to lack of communication, there are issues to do with trust, and the rate at which service delivery is happening is quite low. So there has to be more of service delivery than just promises and rhetorics. Yeah.
Would you say that the quality of leadership in Zambia has improved or declined over the years, and why?
Both. There is a part of improvement. If you look at it, we have a situation, especially in our country, and specifically this election that is going on. We have people that really are going unopposed, okay? And the democracy itself calls for participation. Citizens have to participate. Political pluralism, we need to have a lot of people that are going to participate in elections. But if you look at all that, it's really pointing to the shrinkage of democracy. We have here and there the situations that we have, like, look, I'll give an example of President Xavier. He's been subjected to just doing the campaigns in prison where he's been incarcerated. We've got those glimpses of political violence that we've seen in the near past. What happened in Kanyama, what happened in Maken, what happened in Chawama. Even before the election started, nomination time, we had the Garin Combo scenario that happened in Mazabuka. So there's all that we have to work on as a country. But again, there's a positive side of it, especially when it comes to transition of power. We're really doing well as a country. Yeah.
All right. Now, what do you think makes a leader effective in today's Zambia when you look at the situation?
Service delivery. Yeah. Please deliver what you promise to the people. Let it not end in just the promises. Be effective as a leader. Yeah. To be effective, you need to be responsive. You need to communicate to the citizens. People have to understand the progress that you are making, the plans that are there. But if there's a gap in communication, if you're not delivering what you are promising to the people, then really you're not effective as a leader. Yeah.
And are our leaders listening enough to the concerns of ordinary citizens in this country?
Not enough. Yeah, and this is where a lot get surprised when they see the results. Yeah. There is no platform really that citizens have also been given to interact with the leaders. We needed a situation where we could have leaders maybe quarterly or once in a month to be able to meet the citizens, hear from them, let them hear out their views and the like. But the coming also of the cyber law has a bit linked that freedom of expression from the citizen side of it.
Yeah. And some of these leaders, when you talk to them, when you interview them, they'll tell you that they've got an open door policy where they allow citizens to just interact with them, ask questions. But when you hear from the citizens, it's a different case because they don't have access to the leaders or, let's say members of parliament, councillors. They don't really have that opportunity to speak to them and air out some of their concerns. But how important is accountability in building public confidence in leadership?
Accountability is everything in a democracy. Yeah. And accountability strengthens democracy itself. For democracy to be strong, there has to be accountability. For one to deliver, there has to be accountability. For trust to be built, there has to be accountability. Without accountability, there is no trust. Without accountability, democracy just collapses from there. So we need to hold our leaders accountable. And really, as a nation, I think we are headed towards that. Social media has helped us a lot also in the drive of accountability. Yeah.
And are political leaders today more focused on service delivery or political survival?
It's more of political survival. And this is the cry that we have from the citizens. You find that once one is voted into office, they are looking forward to being voted again instead of delivering to the people. And this is what really is taking our country backwards. We need leaders that love this country. We need leaders that can fulfill their promises. We need leaders that have got integrity. Yeah. But as it stands, it's more of personal gratification, what you earn at the end of the day as a politician. And even their manifestos, even their proposals that they take to the people, it's just to win themselves votes. Yeah. So it starts from the manifesto. The manifesto has to be able to align with the system of governance. We need to question these leaders that we have in the society. According to what you are saying, how are you going to deliver? If they don't have a response, please don't vote them in. Yes.
Now, also, how can political leaders better manage differing opinions without creating division in this country?
It's unity. And it's bad with our country because we've been divided politically. There is this political polarization that has come into our country, and which we don't need. Let's remove all that. We have been separated into different political parties. And what happens is, even if you say something that is making sense, even if you say something that is concrete and will give us progress as a nation, as long as you belong to the certain team, this other team will not tolerate it, this other team will not respect it, and they will not get it. So really, this is where the problem is. But let's have that mind of unity. Let's have that mind of being able to hear to other people. Let's have that mind to respect others. And it will be easy for us to build our nations. It doesn't mean that if you belong to a certain political party, then everything about the other political party is wrong. All the ideas from other political parties are wrong. No, it should be the opposite, actually.
Yeah. And what lessons can current leaders learn from Zambia's past presidents and statements?
It's a lot. One, it didn't start with Arabi, but I would like to single out Arabi. He was the president for all Zambians. Okay, let's unite this country. Let's work on togetherness. Let's respect each and every tribe, religion, regardless of where this person is coming from. We have to respect them. Let them be part of the team. So unity is one of the things that these people have to learn from. And the other thing is really fulfillment of the promises. Can we deliver to the citizens? Look, a lot of political parties, a lot of governments have lost power because of one big reason. The expectations. The expectations citizens have is different from what you're delivering to the citizen. And thereby you get disappointed, you get surprised when election time comes. So really, those are the lessons that one should learn from. Yeah.
And now let's talk about the youth and future leadership. We do know that Zambia has a youthful population. Are we doing enough to prepare young people for leadership positions?
We are not doing enough, yeah, because there are little opportunities here and there, but access to these opportunities is still tough. Yeah, the youths have to be trained. The youths have to be groomed. They have to be mentored. They have to start from somewhere. But especially in politics, you see, it's been commercialized this time around. Yeah. But the disadvantage that most young people have is because of resource. They don't have resource where to start from. There is no employment for the young people. There is no business capital for the young people. But once you give the business capital, once you take them to school, once there is resource, these guys are going to have strength. And it will be easy to start from there and to have a better and a sweet Zambia for everyone. Yeah.
And with that said, what qualities should young people cultivate if they aspire to lead?
Discipline. Please be disciplined, fellow young people. That's my appeal. Be disciplined, be focused, have integrity. For me, I defined integrity easy. It's actually doing the right thing at the right time, using the right resource. Most importantly, when nobody is watching. So have integrity, be disciplined, be able to adhere to the system of government. Yeah.
Looking at how things are in terms of social media, would you say social media has improved leadership accountability or made politics more polarized?
It's both. Okay. Look, when it comes to accountability, it's what is happening this time around. Okay. What people promised a long time ago, videos are coming up, and people are saying, "You said this. So what about this? You said this. What about this? You said this. What about this?" And this is going to really improve the quality of leadership in our country, because people are going to be very, very much careful of the things they're talking about, the things that they're promising the citizens. At the end of the day, there is polarization.
Be it citizens or leaders themselves, but we usually see leaders rush to social media to give statements or say something about a situation and then later on issue, apologies. But how should leaders communicate in an era where public opinion changes rapidly online?
Correct. You see, the gap mostly is because of communication. Yeah, there has to be effective communication between the top leadership and the citizens. And the other big problem that we have is really expectations. Please communicate to the citizens according to what they expect. Deliver the citizens according to what they expect. Once you meet it there, then we have these problems. And we have people every time apologizing. But it's okay to apologize because you are taking responsibility, okay? Other than not apologizing and pretending that everything is okay and you didn't say what you said. Thank you.
Okay. And as we approach the future, what should be the top priorities for Zambia's leaders?
Wow. As to drive back to unity, because this really affects me a lot, okay? We have reached a certain extent where this country has become, I would say, tribal conscious, okay? Your surname this time around is more important than your credentials, okay? We need to unite this country. We are the same. We're intermarried. Leaders have to make sure that they work towards unity. Can we have a system that really we love each other? Can we have a system really that we don't look at each other based on our surnames? We are one people. We are one blood. We are the same people. We are all Zambians. It's one Zambia, one nation. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Miambo, if you had 5 minutes with the president and opposition leaders in one room, what advice would you give them?
Reconciliation. Yeah, reconciliation. It's very stiff in this country, and it's very unique in this country. Yeah, I will tell you, even from the situation of the late Republican president Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Look at what we've been brought in as a country. We are failing to bury the late president, and it's because of all this stiffness that we have. Can these people reconcile? Can these people bring out whatever anger that they have within themselves? Let them love each other. Let them spend even 10, 20 minutes together in one room. Let us see love going forward. Can we have a situation like what used to happen a long time ago? Can we have a rally where we organize people and we have President Hakainde Hichilema, for instance, speak? After he speaks, President Munduwire speaks on the same rally. Something like that. Yeah.
And with that said, with a lot of things going on, what gives you hope about the future of leadership in Zambia?
It's the youth. There's growth in the population of the youth in our country. Yeah, there's information that is easy to access by the young people. There's social media that we mentioned about that has come through. So we know even this election, I'm very much hopeful that people will not be that quite reckless in terms of promising the Zambian people. Yeah, because they'll be afraid of being accountable for whatever they post on social media. So it's the growth of the population of the youths. Youths are becoming informed, and youth are having interest in participating in leadership. Yeah.
And of course, we have seen quite a number of aspiring candidates, members of parliament and councillors as well in our communities. How does that make you feel that we have so many youths that want to take up leadership roles, especially this year?
It makes me feel so glad, and I'm quite excited about it, because we had a gap in leadership, and I keep on saying this. If you look at the 2021 general election and these elections, yeah, we needed to see a 36, 37, 38 young man participating in this election, a lady participating in this election. But there's improvement that is happening. We hope to see that in the results, okay? Not just in participation right now during the elections. We hope to see that in the results. And whoever wins as the president, we hope to see young people in the cabinet of the next cabinet that we're going to have as a country. Yeah.
Absolutely. And lastly, maybe 20 years from now, what kind of leadership legacy do we want to leave for the next generation?
A leadership of responsiveness. Yeah. People that are very responsible. People that have got integrity. Yeah. Consistency. Yeah. Let's not see what we are seeing this time around. You are in this party, you talk about this policy, and then you change next year, you go to this policy. The policy you are saying is not good, is the one you are seconding, and they like, no. In the next 20 years, where we are going up, guys, please, let's work on consistency. Let's build on what we believe in. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Miambo, for joining us this morning and helping us reflect on where we as a nation and where we need to go. Leadership obviously affects every citizen, and conversations like this just remind us that building a better Zambia is a collective responsibility. We appreciate your insights and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Madam Rhoda.
All right, so we do continue with our Sunrise Breakfast Show. Remember, you can leave your comments and your contributions in our comment section on our live feed on Facebook. We take a short break.
We are ready to give people in-depth analysis in terms of the elections.
Hello, as marketing department, we are ready for 2026 general elections.
As the programming team, we are ready for the 2026 general election.
And in this coming election, as a newsroom, we promise to be objective, to be impartial, and to give you information with unbiased coverage. So follow Prime TV during this election period.
The transport and logistics is ready.
We, the reporters from across the country, are ready to deliver authentic, verified, and balanced election stories as they happen.
The 2026 general elections are here. We are ready.
We are ready to give people in-depth analysis in terms of the elections.
Hello, as marketing department, we are ready for 2026 general elections.
As the programming team, we are ready for the 2026 general election.
And in this coming election, as a newsroom, we promise to be objective, to be impartial, and to give you information with unbiased coverage. So follow Prime TV during this election period.
The transport and logistics is ready.
We, the reporters from across the country, are ready to deliver authentic, verified, and balanced election stories as they happen.
The 2026 general elections are here. We are ready.
Welcome back. Obviously, some great conversations that we had earlier on with our guests in the studio. Let's now move to our newspaper headlines. Let's see what's making our newspapers this morning. We start with the Times of Zambia. Obviously, the main headline that we see here says, "Our fathers." The president, HH, wishes all daddies renewed strength, peace, and joy. This is the headline that we see in the Times of Zambia. And then also we see another headline here that says Zambia needs HH second term to boss Dagi, a headline that says Kawana Clary message for Father's Day. Very nice.
It says, may this Father's Day bring you peace, renewed strength, and joy as we worship and give thanks to God. May His grace guide you and His favor rest upon you and your family. Happy Sunday, happy Father's Day. God bless you all. The President. So it was really sweet. Yeah, I'm sure the men were happy to hear this message from the father of the land. So yeah. Well, as a father of the land, he's been trying his best, to do what he can for his children, being us. So yeah, I think we can learn how to carry out some father duties from even like the heads of state, because they really do consider the nation as their and the people of the nation as their children. So as fathers, we can learn, and he took some time to wish the fathers a happy Father's Day. So that's great.
All right, so we move on to the Zambia Daily Mail.
We didn't finish one thing where Kawana is trying to clarify the presidential campaign suspensions. I think we heard from the Law Association of Zambia saying that ECZ didn't have the right to just work on the schedule and stop the campaigns. They needed to consult with the presidential candidates and make sure that they sit together and they can clarify things and work on this timetable. I think that ECZ also must be very careful. We know that there could be these administrative issues that come up, but we also have the Constitution that guides their work. So they don't have to, because in trying to bring sanity, they can be the ones who bring confusion, as you saw in Petauke, that people were ready for a rally and then they stopped it and people just decided to hang there and there was heavy police presence. So all this must listen to the Law Association of Zambia, and they've actually called for a meeting today where they're going to meet the leaders and hopefully come up with time. They stopped elections and now can't they come up with a workable plan that they don't have to keep changing? So we hope that's what's going to happen today at this meeting.
Hopefully, Kathy, you find time to attend that meeting and bring us some, first-hand information on how it's going to be, how it's going to go.
Definitely.
All right, so now let's move on to the Zambia Daily Mail that has a headline that says HH has edge, winter. Economic Front President cites UPND development record. And also here it says First Lady hails incredible dads, judiciary independently applying laws, stakeholders.
HH has edge, winter. Economic Front President cites UPND development record. I don't understand. Okay, some of the comments that are made by some of these politicians need to be taken with a pinch of salt. Why are they advocating for this party? Why are they supporting this party? Why are they saying what they are saying? Maybe if we read the story to understand what it is winter has definitely
absolutely you might take it out of context.
Yes, then it would be good for us to make comments. But he's speaking from himself and those issues that he's seen, and we know that there could be a lot of people. There are a lot of people that would object to that because they are citing issues of the economy, of the cost of. I mean, we will never say this enough. And so when they hear you say that there are these economic developments that have happened, especially economic, they want to hear what you.
Sometimes that really doesn't. No matter how much we zoom in, we really can't see much.
Yeah.
But in the news diggers, the headline here says, "My vote is secret. I haven't endorsed anyone, Lubinda." We see another headline in green that says, "We used to have big rallies with Lungu We Lost study. And in blue, we see a headline that says, police detain Malozo over alleged seditious practices. These are some of the headlines in the News Diggers.
Okay, so we want to follow up the police detain Malozo. I think I saw Honorable Mpundu talk about this, that he was at Woodlands police station where they had detained Honorable Malozo. So I want to find out what is going on. I also want to read this story, so I'll be getting to it so we can get the details. But when Luvinda says, my vote is secret, I haven't endorsed anyone.
So that one goes on to say, he says he should not be dragged into this of claims that he has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema.
What's the problem with Given? We know he's PF, right? We know there's an alliance where PF is part of that alliance, whether they say PF has been given, because sometimes, you know, the party is not the name, it's the people. So when we see the people that were behind PF move to an alliance, if my vote, I haven't endorsed anyone, then we say he's in a dilemma. So he must be having ties with the UPND and either the alliance. So maybe he's playing both of them, because the Given we know should be siding with those that are from the PF, because he has been PF. Besides us seeing a picture where he was with Mazoka a long time ago. So then we know, given there's something going on with you, so we want to hear what it is that is going on, because we expected you to be with the alliance and not even give these doubts as don't affiliate me with anyone. Yeah, so that raises our curiosity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We move to the Mass newspaper. And there's a headline here that says, HH scared of Zambians for subjecting them to hunger. Silumbe. All right. So another one in green says, consult before imposing campaign timetable. Laz ages ECZ. So it all goes on to say the Law Association of Zambia has urged the Electoral Commission of Zambia to consult all political parties and stakeholders before finalizing and imposing the 2026 presidential campaign timetable. I think these are some interesting ones that we have.
Okay.
And maybe the other one in red that says, we'll give you PND Dudumwezi formula, Chipata traders.
Oh, okay. It's just very disturbing seeing them to hunger, Selumbwe says. You know, I'm yet to see the president address people. Like, he's been addressing students, he's been addressing his party officials in the different places, but I want to see him have a rally where people are there. I think the Quito one, I think, I don't know, I didn't, because it was towards the weekend, I didn't really follow what happened, but I want to study that rally and see what it is. Because really, I don't think he's come face to face with the people and told them what people have been longing to hear from him. So we are still waiting on that address to say this is what the president has actually said about all these issues that people have complained, and to specifically address people, not based on the promises he's making in this new election, but on what has actually worked and not so.
So now, when the traders in Chipata say we'll give you PND Dudumwezi formula, I think most of us know what they are talking about, because where we're coming from in terms of election, last election that we have, I think, you know, in Dudumwezi, we know that most of the people did vote for UPND, and the numbers were quite high, like, you know, as compared to the people that voted for Patriotic Front. So if they say we'll give them Dudumwezi formula, they mean that they are voting for the opposition? Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, Chipata has been like copper belts. You know, they've I think resolved to wanting to support the opposition from the numbers that we're able to say. But again, we hear someone saying, no, numbers don't speak the truth sometimes. But we're yet to see. I think even as a campaign builds up, we will be able to see how things are going. Because numbers are also, we are seen so far, we said wasn't there.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We now see it's
we
there.
now see it's there. Yeah.
All right, so we move on to the Daily Revelation, and I think they only have about one headline here, Shimbakambwidi, following CF's 3-day ultimatum for him to exculpate himself for promoting another presidential candidate. And it goes on to say, Citizens First Ron constituency candidate Shimbakambwili at risk of losing his candidature after the party gave him 3 days to exculpate himself for.
So already he is facing sanctions, about to face sanctions in a new party that he just joined.
Exactly.
CK is known for being naughty. Because every party he goes, it's either expulsion or suspension or issues. Yeah, but I think he doesn't like. He's someone I think who doesn't know how to fake it. You know, like when he feels something, he wants to say something about it, and he wants to do something about it and to tell the people what it is he's seeing. So I can't be very surprised if he's supporting. And I am assuming this could be the Pamosi Alliance that he's supporting, because he's from there recently.
Yeah.
He's from the PF, and he's so aligned to that side. So if he sees his friends doing very well, he may want to jump back on that wagon. Because I think he joined this CF because he didn't think that his party would at all have any chance of rising up. And maybe some may say that he's being he's more inclined to what this alliance may want. But I'm only saying this even without knowing which parties is supporting.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it's the party that he's just from.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So last but not the least, in the Daily Nation, we have some interesting headlines as well. The screaming headline here says, Mundubile Makebi win praise from the Council of Elders for their efforts to unite the opposition, bring together several civil society organizations to give Zambians hope of a change of government. After this one would come forward and say, I'm the president of this. The next day, this one comes and says, we do not recognize this person as the president. But ever since we did see the unity between Mundubile and Makebi, there has been a lot of sanity that we're seeing, of late.
Yeah. The Council of Elders, as they are called, have been appealing. They were appealing that if the opposition could stand a chance of winning, they should get together because they saw that they were so fragmented. And I think that one thing that the ruling governments or parties should desist from is trying to divide the opposition to a point where they actually dwindle their existence, or they just kill them off. Because especially in a democracy, for every society to thrive, there's need for space for the opposition. Because the opposition, it's not only just opposing the ruling government, but they also give checks and balances. They cause the ruling parties to be more accountable to the people, because they'll bring out the issues where they are failing. They'll bring out the issues that raise concerns on behalf of the public. So I feel like it's good to see the opposition rise up again and have a chance at this, because, even the UPND themselves said that if there's no opposition, what kind of a win is that, where you just go through? So you need people to put you to task and also to give you that feeling that we won, besides people having been there to oppose us. So that means people really want us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so there's another interesting headline here in blue that says Lusambo deserves justice, says Changala, as he petitions the courts to grant the former Lusaka province minister bail pending appeal, or take him to court, because the cases for which he is serving jail term are bailable. Says none of his urgent application of bail pending appeal has been heard for the last 3 years.
Give out justice, because we see a situation where people have complained that there seems to be some kind of favoritism or not fair treatment, because some people will come with a huge case that's not even bailable, but they will be granted bail, and the cases will die off, and we won't hear much about what's going on with those cases. And then we have these people, just because their cases politically, they are of a political nature, they'll be denied bail. But that's not what we know justice to be. We know justice to be someone is proven, they're not guilty until proven guilty. And if they deserve bail, if their case grants that they can be given bail, they should be given bail and not held back because of some political issues surrounding the cases. So we really hope that that can be looked into. And I think that is one area where the ruling government today has received a lot of, they've been unpopular because of that. A lot of people feel like there is justice that is not properly executed. Well, that's what people say. I'm not saying that, but I know that from many quarters, people have felt that there hasn't been fair treatment in terms of how people are granted justice and trials and so on. So I hope that, I mean, he's a politician, but he's human. So if he's denied his rights, that is depressing, If you know you are able to get bail and you are not getting it, it distresses you. So we don't want that for people, for anyone, even our enemies. We don't wish evil on them.
And for a second there, we almost forgot about Sambo.
So he could have made these elections exciting. So we need people that will guilty. But before that happens, give him.
Okay, so in the corner here, we might have forgotten, there's another headline that says Kabimba attacks ECL legacy, goes for Mundubile, accuses the Tonse Pamozi presidential candidate of lacking vision, only wanting to occupy State House. Also claims former late President Lungu of presiding over a corrupt, violent administration. I mean, you can only, say much of a person who's late.
Yeah. I think Winter, wasn't he with the PF for a long time? Yeah, so if he says evil against the party that he was part of, it means he must have also contributed to what those people did. So although I know he left, but those are his opinions, and he's very harsh, I think, in terms of how he criticizes. And people like him, they say he tells the truth. He says things as they are. He calls a spade a spade. But I know that many people will disagree with him because of so many issues. Yeah, because what he may criticize in that government is worse in this government. When we talk about corruption, we have got lots of reports that have talked about how medicines have been intercepted before delivery and they've been taken to where people don't know. We've gotten a lot of issues on corruption, and we have seen where ministers are not fired for reported corrupt cases, but they're transferred. So all those things are things that people are looking at. So when he just criticizes the former government without looking at some of the issues that are currently prevailing, people have questions for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so those are some of the newspaper headlines that we have for you, and we're almost in the dying minutes of our show. But what is the Sunrise Breakfast Show without the weather and, of course, our money markets? We think that it's very important, especially at the start of the week. If you are planning certain things, putting one or two things in place, it's very important to know how the weather will be and how the kwacha is performing this morning against other currencies. So let's have a look at the weather, and on the other side we see how the kwacha is performing against other currencies. Right, so that is our weather and money markets as well. And of course, just helping you to get ready for the day and to kickstart your week as well. Any plans for the rest of the Monday, Kathy?
Yes, definitely. More work calling. So it's busy, I guess, and looking forward to the week, planning ahead for the week. We've got to bring interesting topics and subjects and news to our viewers. So yeah, we're definitely going to be busy this week. It's a busy Monday. And you know, it's sad we don't have Jeremiah today, because we would have loved to talk about some news from the World Cup. But are there any countries that you're supporting? I'm trying to see how not Zambia, Africa. Am I thinking of Africa as a country? Anyway, but I'm interested that Egypt, scored 3 against New Zealand. So I am happy to see that some African countries are actually doing well there, and we have hope of staying in the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So, there's quite a number of things that Jeremiah would have updated us in terms of local football. But one thing we do know for sure is that, Chipolopolo forward Fashion Sakala is set to sign a new 3-year contract at Saudi Pro League, which is Said Al Faya, which of course reports Gulf League's expert. And of course, they report that Sakala has agreed to sign a new contract until June 2029 with Saudi Pro League. And this is something that is, quite interesting to read about. News, operational spending of Saudi Pro League.
Yeah.
And of course, this is one that will be assisting or dealing with his contract, and we do know that he becomes the club's all-time top goal scorer in the Roshni Saudi League, and on the 11th of January 2025 in a game versus Al Ittihad, when he scored his 24th league goal, surpassing Ronnie Fernandez and of course other players as well. So last season he made 18 goal contributions, scoring 13 goals and assisting 5 times in 29 appearances. So overall he has 62 goal contributions in all competitions for this particular club in 3 seasons. So yeah, they have gained a very, very good player for themselves.
Yeah, a lot of football players are actually heading this side of the world. So I'm sure that it's very lucrative for him and very good for his career, because I know Ronaldo moved. I'm like, what kind of football is it in Saudi Arabia?
There's a lot of money.
Money, of course. So it's the way to go. So I'm happy for him.
They play a good football when they're playing for these clubs. But talk of coming back home and just doing the right thing.
They
is
say
very...
in Chinyanja, though I cannot speak it well, they say motivation panali.
Motivation panali.
Yeah, panali. So
when you're playing football and when you remember that you signed a contract of millions of dollars, you definitely put in your best.
Put in your best, yeah. Anyway, that was interesting sports. I'm sure that Jeremiah can't wait to come back here and give us the updates
of what was happening over the weekend. But you can stay tuned to PTV2, because we'll be back on Wednesday to give you nothing but the very best of what is going on, news, current affairs, and some interesting accountability interviews. But that is all we had for you this morning from me, your host Rhoda Mlinga, and my co-presenter Catherine. It's goodbye and enjoy the rest of your Monday. That's the